Hello everyone and welcome to Real Talk with Chiko. Actually, this is our first broadcast and hopefully we'll be able to help somebody out there. Today I want to talk about life and you. You see, life is not a race. Life has never been a race. You may have been in school with a couple of friends that you could probably completed together your senior secondary school, and they went on to get into colleges, got degrees, started working, and probably bought themselves some nice luxurious cars and all that. And at the time they were in college, you probably were running around doing pieceworks trying to raise money for your education because you had no one else to sponsor you. And you feel like you probably have been left out. You think things haven't been so good with you, and you look at others and see how much they are prospering, and you think, wow, I wish, they are doing better than I am and that. But I want to remind you that life is not a race, It's living within one's means. It's about one's time. You see, just because America is an hour ahead of us does not mean Zambians will not reach the next hour. And I want to believe right now, by the way, this is New Year's Eve. I want to believe right now there is some place out there in the world where they're already celebrating New Year. They're already in 2018 and we are still in 2017 on December 31st. But that doesn't mean that we are not going to get into 2018. They are ahead of us in terms of time, and that's it. But time keeps moving, and we are also moving forward, and at the end of the day, we are also going to get into the next year. What am I trying to say? Okay, so you look at others and wonder just where you were when others were prospering and all that. My friend, you've got your own time, right? Okay, so there's going to come a time when things are going to go well for you also. Remember this one thing. We are not all destined to be at one point. Okay? We have different destinies, different routes to our destinies, and therefore different times. Okay? So just because your friend got into college and started working before you does not mean you will not be able to get into college and find a good job. You need to be thankful for everything you have. You need to be contented with whatsoever it is that you have. Okay, you may not have it all, but there's more to life than material gain at the end of the day. Okay, so happiness is about yourself. Happiness is you moving forward. Happiness is you knowing what you want. Happiness is you working within your own time to get what you want. And believe me, you will get it. That's what life is all about. Sometimes I wonder when I hear people complain, they don't have that because there's no one to support them in that. They can't do that because no one is there for them. And then you compare yourself with others. It's working all well because they have all the support that they want and you don't have any. So what are you doing to ensure that you get where you want to go at the end of the day? Because it's not about someone being there for you. It's about you being there for yourself. Remember, you are the one that knows what you want at the end of the day. Okay? Not anyone else but you. You are the one that has to shape your future the way you want it. And so you begin working on your future now, and though the result may be minimal, at the moment, eventually it will be seen because you are working towards it. In relationships, for example, you got a couple of friends, everything going well in their relationship, and they probably wed, and you're there as a man, you try to find someone to be with. She's a disappointment, you know. You are a woman, a guy approaches you looking all neat and all that, you know. Another day you discover he's a total jerk, and you lock yourself up in your bedroom and start crying and blaming it on the whole world. Come on, man. Come on. Can do better than that. One thing I know is there is always somebody for somebody. So I know there's somebody out there for you. You just have to wait patiently and work on yourself, and that particular somebody will come along. You see, the problem is, while you are looking for Mr. Right or Miss Right, you are not doing anything to make sure you are the right person for that Mr. Right or Miss Right. Okay? Everyone wants a perfect person, but that isn't what life is all about. That isn't what a relationship is all about. It's about bringing out the best out of somebody that has imperfections. It's about accepting somebody with their imperfections, and then you start working on them or with them to make sure that you bring out that particular person that you want in them. Okay. You see, I'll give you a very practical example. How is a man supposed to be with a woman in the first place? Okay? A biblical example. You see, when God created things, spoke them into being, let there be, and there was. And then he created man in his own image. When he created man in his own image, he did not rush into finding him a partner. No. But he gave man things to do. Okay? First of all, he told man to work. Okay? Actually, he put man in the Garden of Eden. And Eden in Hebrew simply means spot. So he put man in the spot, in that blessed spot, in the righteous spot. He put man in his presence. And so I want to put it to you that man's first need is actually not a woman, not money, but God's presence, right? And so as a man, if at all your goal is to find a God-fearing woman, a Miss Right, you've got to seek God's presence first of all. So when you find God's presence, then the second thing that you do is work. Now, God told Adam to say, work, okay, and cultivate, right? So you need to make sure you've got yourself a job, okay? Because no woman would love to start babysitting you or catering for your needs. Actually, they want you to cater for their needs. Okay, so get yourself a job, something that is going to allow you, to help you support your woman. That's the first thing. Secondly, you need to cultivate. Okay, cultivate. Now, cultivating has a connotation of making things around you grow, the right way. Someone who cultivates, will plant something, could be a tree, okay, or crops, and they make sure they tend to their plants, okay? So they put manure, the water, they'll basically do everything possible to make sure that the plant grows healthy the way they want it to grow. Okay, so you need to cultivate, make things around you glitter, make things around you work well, build better relations with people around you, okay? Because that is the measure of maturity at the end of the day. You need to know that for the onlookers, all they look at is how do you relate with others? How do you relate with your friends, with your workmates, and your churchmates and all that? Okay, that's the only way they are going to be able to tell whether you are a mature person or not. How do you behave in public? Okay, begin working on your character. Begin being this person that everyone is going to respect. Okay, then when God had given all these do's to man, the next thing was said it's not good for this man to be alone. Okay, it's not good for this man to be alone. And so he gave him a woman in the image of Eve. Now, what am I trying to say? If you are a man, you don't have a job, are not doing anything to find a job, you are a man, you are not cultivating a good character, then probably the best words to say would be, it is good for you to be alone. Because, come on, you're not working on yourself. Okay. So, it's not about competition. It's not a competition. It's not about who wins first. Okay. Life is all about one's happiness. It's about me doing things within my time. And in that time that I have, the best has to be done. Okay? I don't have to sit around and pity myself and look at others doing well, and lock, myself in a bedroom and start crying. No. It doesn't work like that.